而家係4點幾，既然唔醒都醒咗，我決定而家出去睇下日出咩環境先。而家出面呢，就已經天光咗啦，因為其實幾分鐘前已經日出咗噶啦。但係因為本身係諗住5點鐘先出嚟嘅，諗住捕捉日出之後嗰個光啦。因為既然呢個位都唔會見到個黃出嚟，咁不如唔好咁早起身。但係點知又係醒咗啦。咁既然醒咗，就一於出嚟啦。哇！其實呢座樓呢有啲恐怖，不過而家天光咗就可以行咯，頭燈都可以唔使開，成條街都冇人。之前呢去花蓮啦，成班同行者都仲係瞓緊覺嗰陣呢，我就自己凌晨5點幾踩咗單車去嗰個公園嗰度睇日出，好靚。但係睇完之後呢，就眼瞓啦。回程我真正係夠膽推返架單車返宿，哇，好似都唔錯。好平靜啊！可以見到呢個景，我覺得住得偏遠少少都 OK。可能因為平日關係，所以今日計埋我呢，都淨係得4個人啫。跟住富士山真係好飄忽，彈出又彈入。等等，答案係山期係會閂門嘅。嚟到5點19分，我諗富士山都咁上下啦，應該影唔到嗰啲光燦燦嘅感覺，所以收隊返去瞓多陣。今日就會去富士河口湖一帶嗰度玩。呢架車本身應該係9點27分到，但係由於有 delay，所以而家都已經成9點32分啦。不過呢，河口湖開去忍野八海嗰架車係開10點鐘，所以而家就面臨呢個會再次嚴重 delay，要 delay 1個鐘嘅情況。有時啲嘢真係控制唔到，司機加油啊！喊出嚟，最尾都係趕唔切搭返原先10點鐘嗰架車去忍野八海，而家唯有坐10點半嗰班車去歐力方向，順便去嗰個忍野八海。今日醒少少啦，影定晒呢一區所有車邊一個月台係去邊度，以便如果真係要跑嘅話，都唔會行錯。其實我普遍覺得上網嗰啲資料係多得眼花繚亂同埋比較複雜嘅，跟住去到實體現場嗰陣呢，係會簡單同埋清晰啲，但係個代價就係個風險會好高。成功到達山中湖，其實頭先 miss 咗個站，不過好彩發現得切啫。估唔到呢度冇乜人落車喎。啱啱喺 hostel 咧遇到一個嚟自澳洲嘅女士啦，應該係啲華僑嚟嘅，跟住同佢講嘢啦。但係我發現我有一個情況就係，佢同我講英文嘅地方名，我係完全 match 唔到。例如我想講箱根，但係我真係唔知箱根嘅英文係乜。咁呢一個路線圖呢，就有叫做日文版啦，但係都有啲漢字嘅，所以可能我會相對地着數少少。 甚至如果我識日文嘅拼音呢，可能我係會有方法拼得到 Hakone 或者其他地方名。但係同時間呢，我發現有啲司機佢哋都唔係好識嗰啲英文名，佢哋會望住啲 ABC 啦，跟住嘗試拼翻做日文去理解。所以呢3個語言放埋一齊嗰陣，嗰個作用都幾有趣。山中湖呢度有啲水上活動就可以玩嘅。換着以前我一定會踩單車，但係相信我個陰影實在太大啦。食飯。第2站就係忍野八海，暫時呢度呢就係一條村嚟嘅。由山中湖搭車過嚟就大概15分鐘到啦。其實行過嚟呢都係1個鐘頭左右。轉咗2個彎之後，即刻變翻一個好典型嘅旅遊區。路邊會有一啲攤檔啦，賣嘢食啊，同埋賣一啲瓷器啊，唔同嘅裝飾品。轉個彎就去咗一條小村落，即刻離開咗嗰個繁忙嘅旅遊區。有時自己一個人行呢，行遠些少就可以睇多啲嘅。瞬間叫做好快完成咗忍野八海，下一站就會翻返去下吉田嗰度，終於可以去重頭戲，就係新倉山淺間公園。我嘅 style 就係行嘢影嘢第一，自拍同食嘢最後。估唔到呢個水口竟然有8米深喎！既然有時間剩，行完睇完拍完片，咁就可以去睇下啲紀念品。睇返個牌呢，有間屋仔，就係而家呢一度呢間屋，跟住呢，就懷疑好似見到富士山個影，都唔知係唔係。頭先去程經過，見到附近有一間業務啦，亦都有一間新竹，所以而家見時間都有啲早，不如即刻加個站過去。而家呢個位呢，就喺金鳥居附近，陣間會再去多次金鳥居同埋日川時計店，睇下嗰個影相效果會唔會好過琴日先。呢啲咁大型嘅超級市場呢，應該都係要去啲鄉郊細小嘅地方先有啦。超級 enjoy 喺超級市場推住架車嘅感覺。其實呢間業務呢，就冇我想象中咁大啦，因為一眼見晒，同埋佢淨係得1層啫。不過暫時睇落呢，啲嘢都好似真係幾抵買。啲色好靚，又擺得好整齊，同埋啲水果有晒樣呢，好得意。咦？呢個咪星野源雪糕？香港好似賣緊成20蚊一盒。叮！而家呢，就繼續行過去新竹嘅一間藥妝店嗰度啦，睇下會唔會可以買到啲蔬菜啊，或者買到啲乾糧。因為嚟緊呢幾日嘅行程都係喺郊區啦，就發現郊區如果想用一啲比較平些少嘅價錢去買啲日用品啊、食物呢，就有些少困難嘅，因為好多時都淨係得返啲便利店。好典型嘅外國 setting， 出面有個停車場啦，跟住入去呢，就係一間好巨型嘅藥妝店。首先有藥物嘅區域啦，跟住另外嗰邊亦都有一啲美妝啊、食物啊等等。其實下吉田呢一度呢都好舊啦，同埋都已經係好似荒廢咗咁樣，因為有好多間鋪頭都閂晒門。主要係近年富士山嗰個畫面令到佢帶翻起啦，但好遺憾而家完全見唔到富士山。懷疑我而家行緊呢條路唔係一般人會用嚟行去新倉山淺間公園嘅路。加油，準備迎接398級樓梯。頭先聽到有人話呢啲 stairs 好 evil， 應該都會少搶，同埋暫時行咗幾步呢，都覺得係大級嘅。 呢度就係觀光船嗰度。其實我好疑惑到底呢隻船仲有冇開，因為我見佢個網站好似話冇，但係英文版又話有。唉，我覺得今次張飛好似蝕得好金，因為上次去輕井澤啊、嚟河口湖啊，坐咗好多 JR 啦，10,000蚊，但係今次俾咗9000幾 yen，我覺得好似用唔盡咁樣。原來頭先嗰張 pass 呢，因為我遲咗一個站落車，所以我就要俾多40 yen。哇，真係好多細位要注意。唉，算啦，其實嚟到神社呢度仲要落住雨，乜人都冇咧，都冇，都唔係話唔驚，有少少恐怖。既然都唔會見到富士山噶啦，咁算啦，我都係翻去，寧願搭架車翻去 hostel 好過按原定計劃咁樣行翻去。簡單嚟講，我就係用我隻腳同架巴士競賽緊。其實本身咧都打定輸數，諗住要行翻去嘅，千祈唔好鬆懈。架巴士仲有2個彎就到，我嘅終點站喺對面。話說 hostel 有個地方叫 Munchies， 跟住咧，原來呢度可以打機，有電視啦，有啲遊戲，跟住都好有格調。咦，值得講下喎！如果唔開燈咧，都冇發現呢啲咧係好耐以前嗰啲 game 啦。95年 Nintendo，講緊差唔多30年前。精準啲講30+2，跟住有呢個 Nintendo 64嘅主機。哇，好正啊！如果唔係頭先嗰個外籍女仔講過嘅話咧，我都唔會發現呢啲係啲咁懷舊嘅 Mario 遊戲。哇，醉醉地！而家嘗試操控下呢個 Mario 64先，完全唔知點玩過，因為真係冇玩過。我都喺度諗，其實識中文喺日本旅行有冇任何着數啦？因為嗰啲日本名都比較棘嘅。跟住我覺得識中文係有着數，因為有時連英文拼音都冇咧，就會好難估佢啲嘢講緊乜啊！即係如果我識中文咧，都至少可以估下先。哇，multi-tap 呢個咩嚟㗎？真係唔識喎！好興奮，好有型啊！1996年 Nintendo， 跟住真係 Mario Kart 嚟㗎！哇，玩一陣先。呢個真係大啲啦，個 mon 咧係有啲朦，但係都睇到發生緊咩事嘅。不過呢個有啲難控制。傻，裝成要西。我呢個 game 分分鐘仲落我30+2啦呢個。哎呀，我打機真係好渣㗎。我連點樣放啲菇我都未研究到。我記得以前咧用人哋啲 NDS 打係有試過放嗰啲紅龜出嚟，但我未研究到，唔記得啦，要點樣放個紅龜啊？我真係唔好再打我啦！啊！哇！終於唔係長期包嘅陰功，應該頭先條路太難行。加油！頂住！快啦！第二啦！勁有料！ 又嚟到第二名啊！今次唔偷唔得寶先。
This is the games room.
Yeah, this is Nintendo 64 from like 30 years ago.
Yeah, I used to have one.
Oh really?
Mario Kart.
Yeah. I'm in the desert right now.
Yeah.
Wait.
Okay,
I got lost in
caught by
the
the clouds.
Hi. Where am I? I might have to like say something.
I don't remember this level, but I used to play this back in. Is this Mario? Yeah.
I remember this from
Yeah.
NES. Although I never owned one.
So I know GoldenEye or whatever. Yeah. Oh, they got all the classics.
Oh, the train. Shoot.
You can't get through the fence.
But
you,
yeah.
have to, you have to go round. But
Okay.
normally it stops. Well,
I remember you need to fly across the
you
fence.
need to find a gap in the
Yeah,
fence.
where is it? Totally lost. Okay, I know, I'm going the wrong way, but
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
okay, this is just fun. Is this your first day here?
Yeah, just now,
Nice.
just tonight. How about you?
It's my second and I'm leaving tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay.
Found it.
That's it. Are you
nice.
No, go left.
Really? And you go back.
Yeah, you can go left.
Oh, no.
Left. You get, yeah, left again.
Left again?
Left again. Yeah, left again. So do you want to go on the train track? Oh, yeah.
I need to join the train track? Really?
But other way. I think you
Okay.
need to go through the tunnel.
Okay.
I think so. It makes sense.
Okay. I do remember
still-
that from like 10 years ago.
You're still on the first lap, and then all the other people, they finished already.
Super embarrassing.
Well, yeah,
Shoot.
try and dodge that. Yeah. And that's it. And I'm guessing you go through there.
I think so.
Oh, is it?
Really?
What's that over there?
But I see the finish
Is that the finish
sign
line?
outside.
Yeah, but there's no. Just see what happens if you go through there.
Okay, that's
Maybe
it.
it'll stop. Yeah, it'll probably be a brick wall, isn't it? Oh no. it's-
I'm just too behind.
oh,
far too
oh,
behind.
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay, practice makes perfect. Wait, I don't remember seeing so many trains in the past.
No, I don't remember this. I really don't remember this.
I remember this route, but I don't think there were so many trains. Shoot, not again? Really?
There's no map or anything, so you'll.
There's a map on some of the routes, but
Mm.
now maybe it thinks I'm too slow.
Yeah, I think they're giving up.
But they're not giving me the rocket, I don't know why.
Oh, there's look, someone just.
Yeah,
you do have to be out there. Oh, so you better turn around.
Okay, so I think
Yeah.
I'm stuck in the train
Yeah, so
route.
turn around and go through. Yeah, so yeah, I think you have to turn left in a minute once you see the gap.
Seriously.
Where's that gap?
It's gonna be like 10 minutes.
Smash your way
I
through the
can't,
gate.
I
Go left,
can't,
go
I
left.
can't find
Go,
the
go,
hole.
go left, yeah, just go, yeah, just see if you can get through. Last time you did by accident. Yeah. Oh, there you go, there's space. There you go. So go left, yeah, that's it.
No.
Follow that dark patch. Left. Yeah, left. Yeah, see there, that's it, stay on there, right. Yeah, that's the,
No.
you have to follow it. Yeah, left, there you go. Left, yeah.
It's been like 4
Yeah, oh,
minutes.
see, there's a little boost. Yeah,
Oh nice, so I'm gonna start lap 2 right now.
yeah, you're getting maybe the longest lap ever.
Oh nice.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
He's done
5
it.
minutes.
He's done
Just
it.
under 6 minutes.
I forgot this time. I haven't played it for such a long time. Hello, your screen's too big. It should be a small screen. Oh, let me check. I don't think I want to do.
Technological improvement.
What's Oh my god. What's the celery?
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
fine.
what's this?
Press A, press A.
A, okay.
And use the joystick.
Okay,
Don't use the
yeah,
arrows. Took me some time to figure out how
Oh
to
my god, it is hard. I don't know why I'm laughing at you.
It's okay.
Yeah. Well, we both got the clouds at the moment, so